Well, good morning. Welcome to the channel, my Geezer guitar journey. So, yesterday I got a message on the channel from a Sean Carney, 1723, and his question was, remember, I do ask every song, I ask you, do you have any comments, questions, queries, suggestions, and or requests? So whenever I get one of these, I want to answer it. So Sean asked, he said, do you have any tips for getting into guitar and making the learning curve easier? For those who have followed me from the very beginning, you know that I started playing guitar in 1964. I played for about 6 to 8 months. I took lessons, had a nice guitar. Everything should have fell into place. I had friends who were band members who were excellent musicians. Had two of my friends, their parents were not only exceptional musicians, they were actually trained artists. His mother, or their mother, was an opera star, and their father was a musical director. So I had everything that should have worked for me. But here's what I didn't have. I didn't have a person to say to me, do what you want to do that makes you happy so you keep doing it. So what happened was I played for about 6 to 8 months. I played in a band. It was me and 3 girls. Name of the band was She, with the H-E underlined. And we were very bad. Played a couple of venues. Took a couple of lessons. The lessons were horrid. It was like, why do I want to learn this stuff? I don't care about A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P. I already learned that in grade school. And I'm kind of joking, guys. But I really didn't. I thought, man, I want to learn how to play songs. So after 6 to 8 months, I quit. Went in the Navy, got married, things changed. And lo and behold, I waited till I was 74 years old before I ever picked up a guitar again. Actually, close to 75. And so about 2.5 years ago. And there are several things I learned. And the first one that I learned is, I'm no teacher. I'm no musical talent. I'm not even good. I'm not even a decent beginner or intermediate. I'm kind of like having fun. But here's what I do know, is I know that had I done what I did 60 plus years ago, I would have quit again. So what I decided 2.5 years ago was, I got a guitar, didn't pay for it, it was given to me, and I decided to learn the way I wanted to learn. Not to listen to somebody give me rigid instruction on how to play, on how to learn, on how to have fun. but just to figure out everything on my own. Now, I'm not saying this is the best way for everybody. I'm just telling you. I can't tell you how many people have told me, or I have seen posts, "Oh, I'm so frustrated, I've given it up, I hate it now, I don't like to practice." Well, guess what? I went through all that, but I went through it 60 plus years ago. And I decided the way I'm going to learn is I'm going to learn how to play songs. So what I did was I got a guitar. The first thing I learned how to do was tune it and make sure that it was playable. And by that I mean have the setup correct. And I learned how to do that myself. I didn't pay anybody to do it. I just did it myself. So my first guitar was a Gibson Maestro, one of the cheapest acoustics you can buy. I think you could buy one new back then for $110. Maybe if you got it on sale, maybe $90. But I adjusted it, I set it up, bought nice strings, and it was playable. So then, my grandson had a Fender Squier Stratocaster, and this thing was unfortunately in horrible shape. When I say that, I'm sorry, Fender Squiers are not very good. But in this case, coming from the manufacturer, the pick guard was sitting on top of the bridge, under the bridge, and the bridge was askew, and you couldn't tune it. You couldn't intonate it. So I didn't care what you did, it was never tuned. And I even tried. I watched hours and hours, actually dozens of hours of information about how to adjust and set up a Fender Squier Stratocaster, and didn't matter. Wasn't going to help. So from that I said, well, you know what? Here's what I'm going to do. And this is what I started. Day one, I found a place where I could find songs with the chords and the lyrics. And I started just playing along to them, trying to learn the chords. And like simple chords at the beginning, and probably still, because I still don't do bar chords. And the next thing I made sure I did was I toughened up my fingers, my tips of my fingers on my fretting hand. And you might say, well, that's no big deal. I got news for you. That's the worst part of learning to play an acoustic guitar, is your fingers hurt so badly. But I fought through it. I said, look, I'm going to do this. I'm not taking lessons, but I'll fight through the pain of the ends of my fingers. So what I did was I used Ultimate Guitar, and I started practicing playing along too. I learned basic chords, playing along to songs. Within a week, I could play probably 10 or 12 songs all the way through. Within a month, I could play around 50. Within 6 months, I could play somewhere in the 300 to 500 range. Within a year, I could play thousands of songs. That's not bragging, it's using my noggin and playing, and now, I didn't mean I could be, I couldn't be Eddie Van Halen on those songs, or Eric Clapton, or Stevie Ray Vaughan, or that wasn't going to happen no matter what I did. I have some limitations. I have hand tremors, which is probably my biggest drawback right now, or not right now, has been my biggest drawback, because it affects the way I strum, it affects the way I fret. But I find ways to get around that. I have extreme arthritis, so I don't have the strength to do bar chords quickly, and I can't move through them, and that's affected by hand tremors. So I found easy chords that are the same chord sound, just they're not bar chords. And so there's ways to adjust. There's ways to, in the military, it's improvise, adapt, overcome, and that's exactly what I do. So I'll never be any good. I'm not doing it to be good. I'm doing it to have fun. And I shared this with family members, but to do that, I had to make it public. And in doing so, I somehow garnered subscribers. Now I have, I don't know, what is it? Almost 1,500 subscribers. I have about 700 videos. By the way, at one time I had almost 1,500. I've erased a lot of them, and I'm going to continue to do that, because they were older ones that I really was very poor at. So anyway, Sean, so the first thing I want you to think about, because it sounds like you're brand new, you step in to whatever level I bring you in. First thing you need to do is find a playable guitar. Now a lot of that's going to have to do with your budget. If you have an unlimited budget, I can give you a lot of ideas. But if you're like me, I had nothing. I started out with a free guitar. Ends up now I have, have some nice equipment, but it's still not very expensive. But what you're going to do is you're going to make sure that you have good action on it, that you have nice new strings, not the cheapos they put on it at the manufacturer. And if you're going to buy a guitar and you're going to stay with this, you probably want to get a guitar that you're going to be able to resell for probably as much, if not more, than you bought it for. Over the last 2.5 years, I've bought and sold 42 guitars, and with very few exceptions, I've sold them for more than I paid for them. And the ones that I didn't sell for more than I paid for them, I actually sold them for about the same. In some cases, I was trying to be a nice guy, and somebody said, "Hey, I'm just starting out." And I'm like, "Okay, here's what I have in it. You want to pay that? I'll give it to you." So I've done that. So that's the first thing. You're gonna make a selection. Now, what I recommend, go to a music store. Just play around. And now you might be embarrassed. You might think, "Oh man, I can't play in front of people." I'm not asking you to play. I want you to get a feel for the guitar. Feel the neck. Feel the fretboard. Feel the size. How is it difficult for you to get a comfortable strumming pattern going? All those things. Just go in and play around. Once you do that, then you can start to select guitars based on a money value. I'm going to tell you some of the best inexpensive guitars, if that's the way you're going to go. Some of the best inexpensive guitars, Yamaha 800 series. You can buy a brand new one of those for right around $250. They have a solid spruce top. They're actually, it's the #1 selling guitar in the world, I believe. So obviously, I'm not the only one that thinks it's a good guitar. And I have owned probably 15 Yamahas, and they've all been excellent. I've never had a bad Yamaha. So that's one. Orangewood. If you want to go inexpensive and really set up great, that's the way to go. You can find one, probably about $250, but it's perfectly set up. They'll set it up what they do is they manufacture it, then they ship it to California, I believe. They set it up there, and then they ship it directly to you. You can't buy them in stores. You have to buy them direct. So that's another one. And, then you have Alvarez, Epiphone. There are a lot of brand names. Well, what you have to do is, whatever you find, whether it's new or used, play it first. Make sure it feels comfortable. One of my favorites is the California series from Fender, and I'm not a Fender acoustic fan. Did not like a lot of their acoustics, but the California series is my favorite. Now, it was from, I believe they manufactured them from mid-'80s to mid-'90s. So they're gonna be at least about 30 years old. This one is from $1990. So, 36 years old. Beautiful tone, solid wood tops. All right, so that's first thing you're gonna do is you're gonna get your guitar and you're gonna go to Ultimate Guitar. You're gonna play, chords, learn how to do them. You can, and on Ultimate Guitar, you can do it as fast or as slow as you want. So it allows you to practice changing from chord to chord at your pace, and then over time you'll become more proficient. Then the next thing, and this is, in my opinion, very important. It was to me anyway. I created a playlist, and what that playlist was songs that I really liked playing. And I would call it either my favorites, my gig list, whatever. And when I did that, then I found, because you will have days like this. Normally every day I get up, I can't wait to pick up my guitar. But you're going to have days you go, oh, well, I got something else to start the day with, blah, 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 blah. Well, if you have that practice playlist, and I hate the word practice, by the way. I keep using it, and I'm sorry I am. It's a horrible word to me. Practice means work. I do fun. So anyway, but you think about those songs in your head. Okay, I remember doing this song, and I really liked it. Give an example. I love Alan Jackson music or songs. And I especially love The Older I Get, one of my all-time favorite songs. If I wake up and I go, I hate the guitar, I don't want to play it, I'd go find that song and play it. Just because I need to do something to bring me back. The excitement, the fun, etc. So anyway, so that's next. Now, what I would concentrate on, what I did 2.5, 3 years ago, what I did was I started playing somewhere in the neighborhood of, I would say on average I would do 20 to 50 songs a day. So that means 20 to 50 songs, just playing the song, even if I made mistakes, just playing each one all the way through. So 20 to 50, so let's say on average, we'll use 40. So, and let's say the average song was 4 minutes, okay? Right there, I got 160 minutes of playing time in. That's over 2 hours, 2 hours, 40 minutes. It's actually almost 3 hours. And so I would do that on a daily basis, and I started recording almost immediately and created my channel. But I did that for family. I didn't even know other people were watching. So I kept doing that, and I kept building and building and building. And now I don't do anywhere near that number now. Not that I don't want to, I just don't have the time. Because I didn't do all the... What I used to do is just do a song. I didn't do all the editing. I didn't do the, all the talking. Usually it was just me playing and that's it. Which maybe people would prefer, but, since they started watching, I wanted to make sure I was telling them what I was doing. So, anyway. So that's the next thing I would do. I would try and stay on the guitar. Keep that guitar or guitars within 10 feet of you most of the day. That's what I do. This guitar is within within reach almost 90% of the day. So I might be sitting there going, oh man, I love it. I did it the other day, a couple weeks ago. Heard a commercial, heard a song I remember. I said, oh crap, I got to learn that song. I love that song, and now it's a commercial. Went back, found the Ultimate chord chart for it, started playing it, found it on Play Along channel, started playing it. So, and that's the other thing I didn't mention, Play Along channels. If you look on my channel, I'm not going to go through them now. I'll give you a couple, but you can look. I mean, I'm not gonna belabor this for everybody else. They already know. Joanne Cooper, probably my top play along until she changed her format. Larry Lawver, another one, great play along channel. Arn Nelson, great play along channel. Sing and Play Along for guitar, another one. And Sky Hale, another one. There are many, and I have them all on my channel. You can look, and once you do, guitar chords with the Z, CHORDZ. So you can look there, but just keep playing. Don't give up. If you say to yourself, I'm tired of this, you're doing something wrong. You got to figure out what you did wrong and what it is would make you happy again, what would make you excited again. And that's what you got to do. You can't You can't just expect to open up one day and say, hey, I'm really good. It ain't going to happen. Well, I guess it could, but if it does, call me because I want to be your manager. But, vast majority, let me give you an example. I'm very limited. Very limited. 2.5 years into this, I can't play bar chords for the most part. I can, but I can't do it quickly and I can't do it proficiently. But guess what? I play better guitar than 97% of the world. Period. So if you learn 2 songs, you'll be right up there. You'll be in the 90 percentile range. Because guess what? 90% never even picked up a guitar. So, anyway, so that's next. And then I guess the best thing is, don't give up. If you start to think you're going to give up, text me. I'll talk you through it. I'm easy to reach. I'm very accessible. If you look on my channel, look at all the people I talk to. Cindy from Guitar Notes and Notion, AB Alex from Tin Man Alex, Bruce Landy, one of the greats. I mean, been playing guitar for 60 plus years. Randy's Rhythm, Nara Guitars. These are all people that are much better at it than I am. And so you can follow them. All you have to do is go on my channel and say, oh, I see, because Cindy comments on my stuff, AB comments, Bruce comments, and all you have to do is go, oh, I'll click on and see what they're doing today. Bruce posts probably even more than I do. Actually, I know he does. So you can go on these sites and do that. But for your question where, is there any kind of making a learning curve easier? Ultimate Guitar, learn the easy chords, pick songs, maybe a half dozen, 15, 20 songs, try to learn them in the first couple of weeks. And you don't have to learn by heart. You can learn them so you can watch. I got news for you. I probably couldn't play most of the songs I play. I couldn't play unless I had the music in front of me. So don't worry about that. Unless you're planning on, performing that night, don't worry about it. So anyway, Sean, I appreciate the question. I appreciate your subscription, and I hope that I can help you out. If I can, you let me know. I really appreciate it. Again, I'm no instructor. I'm no quality player. I'm just having a good time, and if that's what you want to do, I'm your guy. So anyway, thanks a lot, and we're going to get to a song here in a minute, another Alan Jackson song.